A very good morning to my dear class 12 computer science students. We have already covered theoretical part of chapter 5, that is file handling. We have read in detail the file access modes. We know that there are two main types of file. One is your text file and another one is your binary file, and we have discussed the various modes of reading and writing to the file. Okay, and if you have not understood these, then definitely you will face problem in going up with the current video. So before that you must clear out the concepts from the previous videos. Okay, so today we'll be discussing how to work with this text files. So for that we'll be reading out few functions that will help us to read the data from the data files. For reading the data from the data files, we'll need a file handle, or we can say a file object, that will help us to locate the position of the file pointer, or we can say the file handle or the file object where it is currently pointing into the file. Okay, so let us start reading the functions that are required to read from the text file. First function is read function. Okay, so we'll need a file handle to read the data of that particular file from which you want to get it. Okay, so before we use this particular file handle and this read function, we must open the file. Okay, so for that we need open function. So firstly we'll use this file pointer, we can say the file handle. Okay, this file handle will locate at the very beginning of this particular file that we are going to open with the help of open function. Okay, and we are specifying the path. Now I'll demonstrate you when I'll be doing practical how to locate the paths and how to use these paths, because we have read there are different ways of passing the path to open a file. So we'll also demonstrate the same. Okay, so open function we will be using. Why we will be using open function? To open the file. Okay, so this particular file will be reading out, and once the file is open we can read the particular file, and here we are trying to read the 15 bytes of this file. The file name is info.txt. okay, so once this file has been opened, we are trying to read first 15 bytes of this particular file. So it is not compulsory at all to mark the number of bytes that we want to read. Okay, if you are not writing anything inside this read function as arguments, then it will read the complete file, the entire file. And if you are specifying the n bytes, then what will happen? It will read the n specified numbers of bytes from that particular file. Okay, and whatever we have read, okay, will be stored in this read info. Okay, so if you want to know the data type of this read info, for that you need to use the type function, and this type function will show you the data type of this particular read info variable. Okay, so read it, mind it very well that whatever you are returning, means whatever the read function is returning, it is always in the form of string. Okay, so you will get the answer of this particular function str stands for string. Okay, because the data that has been read from this particular file is represented to this read info in the form of string. I hope it is clear to you, and I'll show the practical of all these once the theory part is over. Okay, next function is readLine function. As we have read the read function, similarly we have the readLine function also. Okay, so the readLine function will help you to read a line of input from that particular file that you have, that path you have specified. Like we have specified this path. So this particular path, whatever means this file particularly contains few lines or whatever the text it is holding up. So it will read line by line. So it will read one line. If you want to get this information that is there in the second line, then you need to give again the read line information or read line function. Okay, So you need to, and if in that particular line even you want to specify in first line I just want to read 5 bytes, so you need to write 5 inside it. Okay, so it will read the 5 bytes from the first line only. So it will help you to read the file line by line. Okay, read function was allowing you to read the file entirely or the n bytes that you specify. Okay, so read line will allow you to read the read the file line by line. Okay, and if you specify n here, so it will allow you to read n number of bytes from that specific file. Okay, so it will read only one line at a time, and if you want to read the second line of the same file, then again you need to write the same line, okay, multiple times, so multiple lines will be read. Okay, again the most important thing, whatever has been read is in the form of string. Okay, so if you use that particular type function, it will again give you str as output. Okay, so read and readline function, they both return the information in the form of string, that you must keep in your mind. Okay, next is readlines function. So it will read all the lines that are present in the file, but it will return them in the form of list. So readline function and read function, they both were returning whatever was read from the file in the terms of string, and now read lines, it is returning them in the form of list. Okay, so again we'll be opening up the file, we'll specify the path. Okay, and see, I told you earlier in my previous video that if you're not specifying the second argument of this open function rw, so by default it will be opened in read mode. Okay, so if we'll specify w, so it will open this, it will open function will open the file in the read mode. Otherwise w, if you are specifying, it will read it in the write mode. Okay, and otherwise if you are not specifying anything, the file will be opened up in read mode only. Okay, so if you specify w, it will be opened up in write mode, and otherwise whatever the mode you will be specifying, it will be opened up in that mode only. Okay, but one thing important that you must note, it is missing, s has not been written here, so you must write s here, read lines. Okay, otherwise it will be read line and it will perform the operation of reading line by line. So it will read the complete file together, but you will see /n written every time, because wherever the file ends it will print /n, and the output is in the form of list. How do I come to know that it is all the data is inside the list? Because of these square brackets. We know that for representing a list in the Python we use square brackets. So you can say the complete file, the data has been represented in terms of list. And if you want to check the data type of this read info for the read lines, then definitely you will get list in the answer. Type read info, you will get list. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. So now let us try implementing the practical part of whatever we have read. Okay, so this is my Python file. Okay, so now I'll be showing you. So beta, here if you want to know the path of your Python folder, so what you need to do, you need to use this particular command. For that you need to first import the OS and the sys modules. So once you have imported, then you need to write the print function, and this is the main command that you need to write, with the help of which you will get the path of that particular Python folder where it has been installed. Okay, why I am telling you this? Because you will be in need of the path of the Python, because there you will be storing up a file. Okay, so you must know the path. Fine. So beta, in previous lecture I have explained you properly that if we can specify the path of the file in two ways. One is your this way. Wait a minute. Say here you can see. So this is my file handle and I have used an open function, and here you can see we have just specified the name of the file .txt. Why it has been like this? Because the file has been stored in the same current directory wherever the Python files have been there. Okay, so in that case you are not required to specify the complete path. If the folder or the directory where the Python file resides and the file that you have stored, your text file, is the same, then it is not required to write the complete path. Okay, but if your file that you are trying to use here along with the Python is lying somewhere which is not in the current directory, okay, when you are working with the Python, your current directory will be Python only, right? Means the current directory path will be located inside that particular Python folder only, right? But once you are out of that, means your file is out of that particular Python directory, then you need to specify the complete path. Okay, so you need to write it in this way. Okay, so I told you that one way is if your current, means your file lies on the current working directory, so you are supposed to write the path in this way. If it is not in the current working directory, it is lying somewhere else, so you can use one of these two ways. I told you that either you use double slash, okay, and you use R stands for your raw string. If you are not clear about this concept, please go through my previous video. That will help you to understand why we are using these two ways, why we are putting the double slash and why we are writing R. Okay, so now firstly in practical part, let me demonstrate you why we are using this, okay, these and how we can use it. Okay, so beta, you know here that your path of the particular file is, if you don't know, actually why I am telling this, because my path will be something different. When you are directly opening using the open, ultimately you will get the Python path wherever it has been installed. Mine is directly in C, it is Python. How it has been? Because I have directed the direct installation. When at the time of installation I directed that here it should be, so it is just like that. Otherwise if you will not give any direction, it will be a longer path. Okay, so your path and my path will not be the same, so you can check your path, I told you, with this command. Okay, so what I am trying to show you here is that my file name is file handle. You can see this particular file I am using right now, file handle.py. okay, and here in the same folder, in this Python folder, I have this file handle.py file, and another file that I'm trying to use is 1.txt. I'm just trying to show that it is also here in the same file. You can see 1.txt, it is also in Python, and file handle.py is also in the same folder. Okay, so if the both are in the same folder, then definitely you will be able to run the program with no errors. You can see, so here it is telling me the path. Actually my Python folder is directly inside the C only, but you may have a longer path. You can check your path with this particular thing. Okay, now you can see I told you actually my 1.txt contains hello, how are you. Okay, so it is showing that text only, fine. And if for this, see, actually I am not in need of specifying the complete path. Why? Because it is in the current directory only. Okay, so again you can see, firstly I have opened the file using this command and I have given the read mode. Okay, F is my file handle here, and I am using this data. Okay, the return type of this data will be string. You have already seen that. Okay, now f.read function will allow me to read the file. Which file? 1.txt, and it is showing you the all the complete. Again I am running it, so you can see you are getting the same output. Fine, I hope it is clear to you. Now if you see, now if I tell you the double slash method, so now again my second file is lying on the desktop. Okay, if my file is lying on the desktop and I want to get that particular contents of the file printed, Okay, I'm opening it in the read mode. Again I have used the open function, so it will print the data. Fine. So let me run it also. Let me save it first and then I'm running it. So you can see that this file are also printing the text whatever was there inside it. Okay, so I am fine, thank you, and expect same for you. So this is the content of my second file which is lying on the desktop, and using the double slash we are using it. Okay, I have removed the slashes, double slash I have removed just to show you if you will not put the double slash and then you are trying to open this file which is lying on the desktop, whether it will work for you or not. So let me save it again and then I'm running it for you. So you can see it is flashing out an error. Why? Just because it is not able to locate the path of that particular file. So it is compulsory for you to put the double slash, or second option we were having that we can use that raw string R. Okay, it will also give you the same output. Fine. So now you will see I have replaced the single slash with a double slash. So again I am saving it and then you can see it will run again. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. So the content of the second file is in front of you. Fine. So if you want to now run it using the R, so how you will do it? So now you can see I have written the code for this raw string. Okay, so for that I have just written R before it. You can see rest of all the things are same. File has been opened with the same path, but instead of double slash here I have single slash. Okay, but before that single slash, means before the path of this particular file, I have put R, that stands for raw string. Okay, so if you are not clear with the concept of raw string, please watch my previous video. Okay, otherwise the video will be too long, otherwise if I am explaining everything here again. So let me run it. So you can see with the both methods you are getting the output. Okay, so here you can see with the double slash method and with this raw string method you are getting the output. Okay, so now beta you can see I am using the raw string method, but I am going to specify how much bytes the read function should read. Earlier it was reading the complete file, now I told it to read only the first 5 bytes. Okay, so let me save it and run it for you. So you can see it has just read I am. Okay, so only 5 characters it has read. Okay, one space was also there, so it has read this way only. 1 2 3 4 and 5 was there. Okay, so I hope it is also clear to you. So now we are trying to read the read line function. We are going to use the read line function, and it will read the data line by line. Okay, so because that file is containing more than one line and we are just trying to read the first line, so the file will not be read completely. So firstly let me show you what this output shows actually. So you can see this read line function is just reading the one line. There was another 1 or 2 lines in the same file, so it is not reading it. So if we want that particular line, those particular lines should also get read out, so we need to write the read line function again. Okay, so now I have written the code for read line thrice, because it was written I am fine, thank you, then one line space was there, and then in next line it was written, and I hope the same for you. So there were 3 lines in total in that particular file, so we need to write 3 times the read line function and you will get the complete file there. So let me save it and run it. So you can see when once we have written the read line function, it has read just a single line, and once we have written it 3 times, so first time it has read the this line, then a blank line was there, and then the third line is there. So in this way we can read out the contents of the file line by line. Okay, now you can see I have written the code for the readlines function. So it will read the complete file together at a time, but it will return you output in the form of a list, and list is always indicated in the form of square brackets. And I told you while reading from the book that we will get /n wherever the one line ends up. So let me save it and run it. So you can see this output. This is for the read lines. Okay, this was for the read line, these two were for the read line, this is for the read lines function. So you can see whatever content was there in the file, we have obtained the same content, but we have obtained in terms of list. Okay, because we can see the square brackets, and wherever the first line was ending you got a /n, and again this blank line was there, so blank line and then /n and then the third line. I hope this concept is clear to you, and everything till now we have read, I have covered through practical. So you should also do the same practical, so that your concept should also be clear parallelly to me. Thank you so much, beta.